9:03 by Nyoro Geruto back in 2019. Yavi, well, the Olympic champion from last year. She has left a picture. Runs for Bahrain. She is, of course, Kenyan-born. Cherotich, Faith Cherotich, the third in the Olympics last year. Won the Diamond League final last summer at the end of the season. Buziani, watch her as well, the Tunisian. The season's best went 5th in Doha, 9:12, but she has run 9:04. That was in Rome last year. Jennings and Krauser, the twice European champion. Gabrielle Jennings, 4th in the Olympic trials last, just missed out on the games for the USA. Waymont of the USA, 2nd in their Olympic trials. She's an Olympic finalist. She was 12th at the games. Lise Thorner of Great Britain is out there looking to improve on her personal best recently of 9:17. Flavie Renoir of France, a 9:19 athlete is there. And Jacqueline Chepkoech, too. The Commonwealth champion is on the inside, a former World Junior champion. So, almost 7.5 laps of the track. They get underway, and of course, no barriers on this first lap. They will fly around this first lap. The pacemaker is Kinga Krolik of Poland. Very tall, 5'11", the pacemaker. She hopes to take it for 4 laps, up to 1,600 meters. And the target time is that meeting record of 9:03, but it depends on whether those behind her are up for it. That's a gap of 5 or 6 meters shouldn't grow anymore, otherwise you wouldn't really be helping them that much as they come through below us after a couple of 100 meters. Chepkoech, Jacqueline Chepkoech is up there, and look at Buziani in the long tights back in 4th place, just moving up as they close up on the pacemaker, who stutters in really an accentuated way before that first barrier. Now down the back straight, tidying itself up. Krauser is up there. She's been trying to make herself more of a road racer the last couple of years, but she's struggling to really make a mark. Bronze medalist twice in the World Championships back in 2015 and 29, Geisa Krauser. This doesn't look to me, Hannah, like they're really chasing the quick time. I think they'd be breathing down the neck of the pacemaker if they were.
I mean, Krolik was well ahead of the lights, and you can see already the blue lights there have caught up with Kinga Krolik. He's a great athlete in her own right. I wonder if her first 300 was just a bit overzealous. But the other athletes don't look up for it as such. The likes of Faith Cherotich and Winfried Yavi are probably content just to race each other. There's a lot of bragging rights between those two, who comes out on top, and a time might not be as important for them. You can see Lea Meyer of Germany swing around the whole group, try and get herself back on a faster pace. The two Germans, Krauser and Meyer, should have a great domestic battle as they're just sitting there in 4th and 7th or so. But Faith Cherotich, she beat pretty much everyone in Doha. Everyone was there that's been on a major podium in the last few years, and Cherotich came out on top. So perhaps she wants to try something a bit more tactical here in Oslo.
Well, again, that lead is building up from Krolik with Cherotich and Yavi in 2nd and 3rd. Obviously, we're looking for around 3 minutes, maybe 3:02 for the first kilometre if they do go with the pacemaker. They haven't given us any intermediate target times, but if they're looking for 9:03, the maths isn't too complicated. But it is almost single file back in the pack, so I'm guessing that the pace is okay. See how they negotiate the water jump this time. Krolik, as you said, Hannah, she's a good athlete, 9:22 steeplechaser at her best, the pole. You sort of half wonder why at the age of 25 she's not back in that pack looking to run a personal best here and get under 9:20. She's built that lead massively. I mean, that's 15 meters now.
Oh, couple of fallers down there as well. That was Valerie Constantine, and perhaps I can't see Geisa Krauser left in the field, so that might be Krauser on the floor as well.
3:04 for that first kilometre, 3:04.52. So it wasn't that quick, and that's for the pacemaker Krolik. So the main pack, they really aren't interested. I think you read it right at the start, Hannah. Maybe Cherotich rather, and Yavi too busy watching each other, though there are gaps appearing now.
Buziani's been pretty impressive this season. She was very disappointed not to make the final of the Olympic Games and then bounced back to take Hariba Gharibi's Tunisian national record at the Rome Diamond League. And she's kicked on from then. She did very well at the end of last season and has been placing well in lots of races. Runaway winner at the Continental Tour Gold in Bydgoszcz the other day. And I think she'll be pleased with the company around her. You see the Tunisian just going over that water jump in third as they come back into the home straight. Geza Krauser was helped off the home straight. She looked totally winded by running into a barrier, but let's hope she's okay.
That's a real shame for Krauser, as the gap between Krolik, the pacemaker, and the pack has grown to about 30 metres now. She comes through the line below us with 4 laps to run, and now we've got 4 chasing hard. It's Cherotich, Yavi, Buziani and Muleta of Ethiopia, and then Jennings in the red for the USA, back in 5th place of those who are actually racing, trying desperately to get back in touch with that quartet out in front, but they do look far more interested in racing each other, and nothing wrong with that, rather than passing or going with and chasing the pace being laid down by Krolik. 3:04 that first kilometre, and I'm not sure there'll be much acceleration in this middle one.
Lomi Mulata is just fighting off Buziani every time the Tunisian comes past here. The Tunisian passing between the barriers, and then it's almost as though the Ethiopians got the better of her over the barriers. These 4 really tightly matched as they come over the water jump this time. That's a congested group to take a water jump in. Leah Meyer and Gabrielle Jennings working really well just behind there. Courtney Wayman, the second American, will be trying to get up on terms with Jennings.
Well, they haven't got away from Buziani yet, and she is a growing force, is the Tunisian. Went on out in the heats at the Olympics last year, and then a massive personal best 3 weeks later in Rome at the end of last season. So they go through with 3 laps to run, and it's still Cherotich from Yavi, from Buziana. Muleta is up there too in that leading quartet, who have about 5-7 metres on the chasers there, and I think chasing is Leah Meyer, isolated in 5th place. As Cherotich looks very calm, doesn't she, as they come towards the end of this 2nd kilometre now. Even pace, Anna, they'd be running around, well, target pace would have been about 6:06, but if they run even pace here, it's going to be 6:09.
We're going to see the kilometre split. There we go, 6:06 from Faith Cherotich, and it'll be really interesting to see how hard she can close this final kilometre. And Cherotich, such an accomplished athlete. We know how good she is. She's an Olympic medalist. And it was almost there off the water jump. Suddenly there was a burst of speed from Cherotich. Yavi covered it, no problem. But the other athletes behind, there's already a bit of a gap there. I wonder if that is Cherotich with nearly 2 laps to go, just trying to turn it on.
Yeah, Cherotich calling the shots at the moment, isn't she? Leading them a merry dance. That 2nd kilometre was a couple of seconds quicker than the first, but still not super fast. They come through with 2 laps to run. Muleta now losing a little bit of ground. Buziani stuttering badly there in 3rd place in the blue top at that barrier. She probably lost a metre on the pair ahead of her. But into the back straight for the penultimate time, and still Faith Cherotich looking very, very comfortable indeed. Yavi has dogged her heels the whole way. I wonder if she's building psychologically for a big push on the final lap.
And Buziani, again, between each barrier, the Tunisian is making up ground. She's moving better between them than she is over them. You can see the stutter there into that barrier. It was Yavi and Cherotich taking them a lot smoother. Leah Meyer is on an absolute charge in 5th place at the moment. Lomi Muleta, the target for the German woman at the moment. Her 9:08 personal best to qualify for the Olympic final could be under threat, perhaps, for the German if she can have a big finish.
So Cherotich, Yavi and Buziani, 1, 2, 3 over that water jump for the penultimate time. Buziani trying to hang on to these 2. They will pick it up in the final circuit, there's no doubt about that. Cherotich getting a nice clear view of these barriers as she comes to them each time. Yavi matching her stride for stride at the moment, but a metre behind. Buziani closes up on them as they come to the bell. I don't know if there's been a slowing there. It's about a 20-metre gap back to Muleta, who passes Meyer in for 4th and 5th. As they begin to accelerate now into this final lap. Cherotich it is, Faith Cherotich, Diamond League final winner last year, the bronze medalist at the Olympic Games. Remember, Yavi is the Olympic champion in 2nd place. For Bahrain, the former Kenyan, she was the world champion in Budapest 23. She has those 2 grand titles in her bag. She just missed the 6-year-old world record in Rome last year with the second fastest time in history of 8:44. And she moves onto the shoulder now of Faith Cherotich. This is the closest she's been to taking the lead the whole race. As Buziana is in third place, she's been dragged around by these two through these last couple of laps to stay well clear of a brilliant run there from Liamaya in fourth place. As they come into the straight now, Yavi is more concerned with winning than she is with a quick time here. So, though, is Faith Cherotich. Who's it going to be off the final barrier? Yavi, gritted teeth, head back. Cherotich on the inside, retains that half metre, wins by half a metre. 9:02.60. It is indeed a meeting record. Wow, that final kilometre was about a 2:56. They have flown through that final kilometre. 9:02.60, unofficially. Brilliant running. And that is the quickest time in the world this year by a couple of seconds and more. Great race.
Faith Cherotich looking like the woman to beat this season. Run in Doha, as I mentioned, pretty much everyone was there. And then another win here, and Yavi was right there. Faith Cherotich is improved. She wasn't looking that good in Doha, but she went and raced on the circuit. Faith Cherotich, the silver medalist for Paris, and she improved in Hengelo. But these two, Yavi and Cherotich,